power, influence, control. These are the forces that shape history. But what if there was a guide, an ancient manuscript that unlocks the secret blueprint to mastering them all? A book so dangerous that rulers feared it, scholars debated it, and its author was nearly exiled for revealing its truths. This is The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli, a work that has whispered strategies of dominance into the ears of kings, warlords, and modern CEOs alike. But this isn't just a book, it's a weapon, a ruthless doctrine of realpolitik, a manual on bending the world to your will. Yet, despite its infamy, The Prince is often misunderstood. Many see it as a book of cruelty, deceit, and manipulation. But what if I told you Machiavelli wasn't just writing for the ambitious? What if his words contained a deeper, hidden wisdom? One that applies to anyone seeking success, survival, and sovereignty over their own life. In this video, we'll unlock the most potent lessons from The Prince, separating myth from reality. We'll explore how power truly works, why morality is often a luxury, and why the most feared leaders in history all took a page from Machiavelli's playbook. But first, ask yourself, would you rather be loved or feared? The answer may change everything. Let's begin. To understand The Prince, we must step back into the treacherous world of Renaissance Italy, an era of warring city-states, backstabbing rulers, and political intrigue so intense that today's power struggles seem like child's play. Niccolò Machiavelli was born in 1469 in Florence, a city caught in the chaos of competing powers. He served as a diplomat, witnessing firsthand the cunning maneuvers of popes, mercenaries, and monarchs. But in 1512, Florence fell to the Medici family, and Machiavelli, accused of conspiracy, was imprisoned and tortured. Stripped of power, he retreated to the countryside, where he penned The Prince, a book that would change the world. But The Prince wasn't a philosophical treatise, it was a survival guide. Unlike Plato or Aristotle, who idealized just rulers, Machiavelli told the brutal truth: power is rarely won by virtue alone. He shattered the illusions of morality and politics, arguing that rulers must be willing to deceive, manipulate, and even destroy if survival demands it. This message was radical. It challenged centuries of religious and moral thought. It forced people to confront a dark reality, that behind every great ruler lies a strategy of control, and behind every noble cause, a hidden agenda. This is why The Prince was banned, feared, and even labeled as evil. But was Machiavelli truly advocating for tyranny? Or was he simply exposing the game that had been played all along? His insights remain timeless. In a world where leaders fall as quickly as they rise, his lessons on power, manipulation, and resilience are more relevant than ever. But before we judge Machiavelli, we must ask, is power inherently corrupt? Or is it just the nature of those who seek it? At its core, The Prince is a study of how power is acquired, maintained, and used. But unlike moral philosophers, Machiavelli doesn't concern himself with how rulers should behave, only with what actually works. One of his most famous principles is the idea that rulers must be both a lion and a fox. The lion represents strength, force, and raw power, the ability to crush enemies and instill fear. The fox, on the other hand, represents cunning, deception, and strategy, the ability to maneuver through political traps and outthink opponents. A ruler who is only a lion will be outwitted, and a ruler who is only a fox will be overpowered. True mastery lies in balancing both. Machiavelli also makes a daring claim. It is better to be feared than loved, if one cannot be both. Love is fickle, dependent on the goodwill of others. Fear, on the other hand, is a tool of control. People may respect a kind leader, but they will obey a feared one. However, he warns against cruelty for cruelty's sake. Excessive tyranny breeds rebellion, and a wise ruler knows when to be harsh and when to be merciful. Another vital lesson from the prince is that appearances matter more than reality. A leader doesn't need to be virtuous, only to appear virtuous when necessary. Integrity, kindness, and justice are tools, not absolute virtues. They should be used when they serve the ruler's goals and discarded when they become a liability. Consider modern politics. Leaders who project strength, even if it is an illusion, command loyalty. CEOs who make ruthless decisions behind closed doors but present an image of benevolence to the public who maintain power. The lesson? Perception shapes reality, and those who master this principle hold the reins of power. But perhaps Machiavelli's most unsettling insight is this: fortune favors the bold. The world is not governed by luck or divine justice. It belongs to those willing to take decisive action. Waiting for the right moment often means missing the opportunity altogether. Those who hesitate are left behind. This raises a crucial question. Is morality a hindrance to success? Or is it simply a tool to be wielded by those who understand its true purpose? The deeper we dive into the prince, the more we realize that power is not about good or evil. It is about results. In the next section, we'll uncover Machiavelli's most controversial strategies, the ones that separate rulers from the ruled. Now, let's go deeper into Machiavelli's most controversial principles, the ones that history's most ruthless leaders have embraced. First, necessity trumps morality. Machiavelli argued that leaders should not be bound by traditional ethics when survival is at stake. He believed that laws and morality are tools of the powerful, used when convenient and ignored when necessary. A ruler who follows moral constraints too rigidly risks destruction, while a ruler who bends the rules to secure power survives. Next, he introduces the concept of calculated ruthlessness. He warns that if cruelty is necessary, it should be swift, decisive, and purposeful. A ruler should never be needlessly brutal, but if force is required, it should be executed in such a way that the people do not question authority. Hesitation leads to instability, and half measures only invite resistance. Machiavelli also dismantles the idea that keeping promises is an absolute virtue. He argues that a leader should only keep their word if it benefits them. If circumstances change, a wise ruler adapts. After all, the world is not fair. Why should rulers handicap themselves by playing by rules their enemies ignore? Perhaps his most dangerous idea is this: politics is war by other means. Everything is a battlefield. Allies today can be enemies tomorrow. Strength comes not from justice, but from calculated moves, deception, and force. In the next section, we'll explore how these insights apply to modern life and how Machiavelli's lessons can be used, not just in leadership, but in business, relationships, and personal success. Machiavelli's insights are not just for rulers. They apply to everyday life. Whether in business, leadership, or personal growth, his principles can help you navigate power dynamics and control your destiny. Master perception. Your reputation is everything. Learn to project confidence and strength, even if you feel uncertain. Control information. Never reveal your full intentions. Keep people guessing. Be bold. Fortune favors the decisive. Take calculated risks and seize opportunities. By applying these lessons, you don't just survive, you thrive. In today's world, these principles manifest in corporate boardrooms, social influence, and even digital spaces. Social media magnifies the power of perception, where curated personas dictate success. Leaders who control narratives, not just policies, hold power. Even in personal relationships, understanding when to be assertive, when to negotiate, and when to withhold information can shift outcomes. Machiavelli's core lesson: power is fluid. The ones who recognize its nature and adapt will always have the advantage. Machiavelli's The Prince is more than just a book on power. It's a mirror reflecting the true nature of leadership, influence, and survival. It doesn't tell us how the world should work. It reveals how it actually does. Some see his teachings as ruthless, others as pragmatic. But whether you agree with Machiavelli or not, one thing is certain: his principles have stood the test of time. From ancient rulers to modern politicians, from corporate executives to military strategists, his wisdom has shaped history's most powerful figures. So, what can we take away from The Prince? Power is not about good or evil. It's about results. Morality can be a tool or a trap. Fortune favors those who act boldly. And above all, perception is reality. The question now is, how will you use this knowledge? Will you navigate the world as a passive observer, or will you take control of your own destiny? The choice is yours. But remember, those who understand power will always have an advantage over those who do not. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and remember, power belongs to those who dare to take it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to drop a comment below and share your opinions. We read every single one. Thanks for watching.